So I just wanted to get that off my chest. I feel a lot better now that I talked about it. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, Leilani Barbados. I want to have a little rant, but first and foremost, I'm going to say happy birthday to the Queen. There's some stuff I have to get off my chest, but first and foremost, I wanted to talk about the birthday of the Queen. She's 95 years old this year. As I said before in some of my videos, that she's the same age as my grandmother, who was very near and dear to my heart. When I was a little girl, somehow in my head I got it that the Queen owned the world, you know, because there were so many countries in the Commonwealth that it seemed like on the map, like she owned the world. And I remember that. Also in our assembly hall, where we would go every morning and sing, morning has broken like the first morning, you know, and we did all of that, and we had a huge picture of the Queen in her youth, and that never changed, that never moved. It was part of our upbringing. I always wanted to experience England, you know, because England was a metropole for us. It was the land of opportunity. It was where people went to make better life. And that's just how I was raised. And I always thought, how fun must it have been to be in school in England and wear those little bandeaus and these little bows, and also participate in the parades and everything. So God bless the Queen. Happy birthday to her. The Queen's birthday will be a little bit different this year because she is still mourning. We are still mourning as a country. She won't be doing any parades, even in the summer birthdays. Okay, so the Queen has a birthday on the 21st of April this month, and then she also has a birthday that Edward VII, I believe it was, he decided that the weather was not good enough for his birthday, and his birthday was in November. So he decided to do a summer birthday, and they would do this huge parade, and the Queen has followed suit as tradition would dictate. But this year it won't be like that. There will be no big celebrations. Also last year, because of lockdown and so on, there will be no celebrations. In fact, the Queen will be answering letters of condolences from all the world leaders. That's what she's going to dedicate her time doing now. So there will be no gun salutes, which would be normal for her. And in fact, the trooping of the colors, which is the summer birthday that I spoke about, there will be none of that this year. But you know what all of this gives her time to do is be with her family. And that's where I want to talk about Prince Harry. So as we know, Prince Harry left on the next flight out after the funeral of his grandfather, Prince Philip. You cannot get these days back. You can never get these days back. The Queen is 95 years old, and you have to be mindful, Prince Harry, that you can't get these days back. So he flew out. He got flued out on the next flight. So here comes my feelings on the young people them, Harry and Meghan. Why would you come all the way over to the UK, isolation for 5 days, and then fly out on the next flight when your grandmother is there mourning and expecting her birthday? Why would you do that? I feel, okay, I have so much to say about this. Okay, so I have a hunch that Meghan probably persuaded Harry to come back on the next flight. I do know she's pregnant, and I know that she has a child already. But you have to remember, she's not like me or you. She has a team, she has PAs, she has her mom, her family. When I was pregnant, I had to be alone a lot because my husband was working. So I didn't have, I mean, when I say I was alone, my dad's an OBGYN. He delivers babies. So I had to call him. I was crying. I was so worried because, you know, like, I didn't know what was going on. It turned out I ate something I should not have eaten. But you know what I mean? It's like you get really nervous. But Meghan has a big support team in LA. That's why, I mean, I hope that's why she's there. And why wouldn't you say to your husband, like, you can stay with your family, support them, let's do some damage control. In fact, if you stay there for like a couple more days after the funeral, they will probably feel, well, we as a country will feel like you have done your bit, you know? And that's all she has to say to him, like, stay with your family, you know? And genuinely mean that. But of course, we know that Meghan is a train wreck and a half, and she would never give him that right to do that. And if it is because she doesn't feel good or whatever, she should say that, or she should make that be known that that's the reason why Harry had to come back. But for him to just come back, it just like, it loses an opportunity to damage control and make everything right with his family. But that's just PR stuff. But actually, on a serious note, on a family note, why wouldn't you want to spend that time with your grandmother? You know, the Queen really loves Harry. Like, almost favoritism kind of thing. She really loves him. She enjoys his company. And I just think it was something that he could have done in private. But at least we would know that he didn't leave the country. Therefore, he wasn't just escaping, you know? The time with grandparents is so important. It's just so important. And you know that. You don't have to be told that or taught that. That is just something you know. Also with lockdown, there are so many services available in LA to deliver stuff to you, to provide groceries and do everything for you, you know? And Harry does not need to return there to take out the garbage or like do anything for Meghan like that. Right now, there's so many services available that have popped up and businesses that have popped up to do these things for you. There's just no excuse at all. And that's where I was struggling, and I was going to wait to like talk about these things afterwards, but I'm actually really upset about it. It's upsetting me. And I thought I'd make a video to maybe vent and like hopefully feel better about it, because it's really... Before I wrap up, I don't want anyone to tell me that I'm a bully. You know, I made my video as a woman of color, as a fan of Meghan entering into this realm, and it went viral because I did it 2 hours after it was released. The Oprah interview was released in the UK. But I changed my mind. I was a fan, I changed my mind because of what she presented and what she said in the video. I want to reiterate that all the time. I am just dealing with facts. And I just think that she has presented herself so badly that I am embarrassed and I'm ashamed. I just saw that, and I had a hunch that she was probably lying, which came out in the end that she was. Talking about skin color, skin tone, what may have been said about a baby who was not born. I was absolutely a fan of her. I loved everything that she could have done and did not do, but I still had faith in her. I do not support Meghan Markle because I do not support liars and destroyers of lives. There's nothing this family did to her to hurt her or her dogs or anything close to her. And it's just crazy to me that she was able to spew these lies and then come and retract them, but still it resonates with us that she said something about race card. And only yesterday a verdict was handed down on a real racist who killed a man with his bare hands. I'm talking about the George Floyd verdict, guilty. And it dilutes our cause, the BLM UK cause. It dilutes everything. She's destroying the lives of literally the family that gives the most here in the UK, in public service. That's so crazy to me. But speaking about lies, I want to talk about the other creators on this platform. There are a lot of creators on this platform, bigger or smaller than me, that came out with their videos after me, but they are talking about, you know, these weird things like Doria, who is Meghan Markle's mother, she was a criminal, and all these weird things that there's no proof of. There's no receipts, there's no evidence that this woman was ever in prison or had any legal matters at all. And it's very, very toxic to do that, because I get, actually in my DMs on Instagram, so please follow me on Instagram. My name is Leilani Barbados, no spaces, just one word. But people are sending me all these pictures, really badly photoshopped pictures, really badly put together. They're fake pictures of Meghan Markle, trying to say that she's this and she's that. And I do not subscribe to that. I do not entertain that. But it just shows how desperate the UK public are to just cancel her and get rid of her. And I do not talk about what I cannot see with my own eyes and hear with my own ears, and essentially facts. So I'm not about that. I'm not about making her something she's not. But I will say that I'm deeply affected by the fact that she would not encourage her husband to stay with his family for at least 3 days, 4 days, a week, I don't know, and just say, just do you. She's not that heavily pregnant. She said she's due in summer. As I said, she has a lot of help. There's no reason for her to do this, to make him come back. So the Queen is having a very low-key birthday. She's not having all the pomp and circumstance and all the parades and everything. But still, Harry should have stayed there, because otherwise it looks like he's not here for the long time, but he's here for a good time, as the saying goes. Yeah, it looks very shallow. I'm disappointed. Does she deserve it? Well, it depends on how you reacted to her interview. It depends on how it made you feel and how you thought it destroyed the family. But to me, there's no reason to do it, to bully her, as you say. And this whole movement of calling her Harry's wife or Meghan Markle or poo-poo head, as you do on the playgrounds of the bullying schools or whatever, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that we know she did some atrocious stuff, for real. And we need to try to ignore that and try to build back up. And I think this was a perfect opportunity for Harry to build back with his family. And the fact that he left really disappointed me, I must say. And that's just what I wanted to talk about as a young person who tried to spend as much time as I could with my grandmother. Just any time I could with my grandparents. I really cannot understand how he could have so much opportunities and just leave them alone. But Meghan Markle is clearly a common clickbaiter. She doesn't care if she dilutes the BLM movement here in the UK. She doesn't care about any of us, really, at all, except herself. It's something that I wanted to say as a woman of color. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. And I feel like she's a sabotage. Oh, and another thing, Meghan Markle, I know that you don't have any upbringing or anything like that, but like, you should really stop the handwritten letters. I know that's the only thing you think is like classy to do, but it's really annoying, because as a precocious child, I know you were encouraged to write to that detergent company and say like, you know, I don't think it's cool that like women have to do the laundry. That's tired, it's done, and it's through. So please stop doing that. The wreath and all of that to Prince Philip, you're an asshole. Like, please just stop doing it. Seriously. Aside from the monarchy and all that stuff that she would say, I feel like Meghan and Harry continue to chip away at this beautiful family that Harry has by not encouraging her husband to get back together with his family, by how she's putting out statements all the time, bigging up herself all the time. I really wish she would cease and desist from that. Can someone send her a cease and... Let me just see. Who can send her a cease and desist letter? How do you get... Like, who should send it to her? Can someone send it to her? Can the press at large just be like, we're not buying anything you're selling. Please stop. Okay, rant over. I'm just gonna try to find out a little bit more about how we can get Meghan to stop annoying people in this world. I know that a lot of people are like trying to say, oh, their marriage should fail, but I don't think their marriage should fail. I would never wish that on anyone. I'm a married woman and I don't wish that on anybody. But I do think that they have each other, and that's all they really have right now, because they have so polarized the entire world that they really just have each other in this pseudo-toxic relationship. And they need to hold on to that. So I do wish them the best in their marriage. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. I feel a lot better now that I talked about it. I was really just thinking about the Queen and her birthday and trying to think of like the best way she could have her birthday in light of everything that has happened leading up to these last few weeks. But if you really liked my video, please comment. I love the comments. I do respond to them, and I'd like you to subscribe if you don't mind. And also share my video. Happy birthday to the Queen. I hope that she enjoys it in the best way she can with those who really love her and who want to be around her, because that's the best thing that you can give your grandmother, is to just spend time with her. Time is the most important thing we have. Thank you so much for watching, and lots of love to you. Bye.